going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Locker Room Podcast, and we are here on Tuesday, August 2nd. It is the dog days of summer. How you doing, boys?
Doing
good.
Sweating through this shit, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty hot in Florida.
Working hard, huh?
Goddamn brutal, man.
Brutal sitting out by that pool.
Yeah,
Slipping and sliding in that seat right now.
The last beach that we went to last weekend for a few day getaway, staying right on the beach in the resort. Beautiful,
Your wife,
beautiful suite overlooking the Gulf.
She went with you?
We purposely got the short beach that way. We didn't have to carry all the shit like a mile because it's so goddamn hot.
Short.
So we got concierge to take our stuff down for us.
Yeah, Mark sent us a really nice picture from
the
his
shitter.
room.
Sitting
Yeah,
on the toilet.
sitting on the toilet.
Short beaches are nice. Not in the tall one. I mean, long beaches. There.
Yeah.
I like long beaches, too.
I like any kind of beach.
Oh.
That's true.
Yeah.
A beach is a beach.
Beach is a beach.
Usually if they're blonde. Oh, we're talking about something different.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
maybe
more
we
of a
are.
brunette beach guy, but
Yeah, I want to wish my beautiful wife and my beautiful daughter happy birthday.
happy
Good
birthday.
segue.
Happy birthday! Yeah, it's their. Well, I'm not going to put their ages out there.
Yeah.
And their
But,
social security numbers are.
yes, and they're worth this much money, and their bank accounts are no. But we'll see if they listen to the show because we'll see if I
probably
get any
not.
prompts.
But you have a new baby on the way, isn't that right?
I have my first grandbaby on the way.
That's very sweet.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the one you sent me a picture of.
Well, the other that is a knee-jerk reaction to my grandbaby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not talking about your grandbaby.
So I have a grandbaby, and so now I've got starting my official midlife crisis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's a Porsche. What is it?
Porsche?
It's a Jaguar F-Type,
Jaguar.
Okay.
black on black on black. It's beautiful.
It's kind of late for a midlife crisis for you, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know, Mark, and maybe if you don't go on so many beach vacations, maybe you can get a check because you're
Slow bloomer.
past midlife.
So are you
The
gonna
way you eat and drink, I think you probably
are you gonna drive this to work?
no.
That's the question.
No.
Where do you take this?
No, 100%. I will not pull up to work ever in it because it'll beg too many questions.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Too much publicity.
Well, it's not. It's just not me. It's like already painful to even think about getting it.
It is kind of you though, right?
It comes with the ascot.
Yeah.
I mean,
Matches.
you're getting it. You're gonna get driving gloves.
You get fingerless ones.
No.
Is it a drop top?
I'm getting
Yes.
it. Yes.
It is, right?
Yeah. I'm getting it
Fucking
because
totally Rocky.
because I got
Explains the hair plug.
because I got an award, and so more than half of it is paid for by the award. So
So I'm guessing that you are going to keep a hairbrush in the center console,
Oh.
kind of like the one that you keep here.
actually, probably in my back pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, probably a Cleveland Browns baseball hat too. So if I don't want to brush.
So
my
what
hair.
was your first car?
My first car? Oh, it's a beauty.
See how far you came.
The Dodge. We used to call it the Badass Aspen. Baby blue, vinyl.
What is it, like a
Four-door?
station wagon or something?
It's worse than a station wagon. It's a 1979
It was a tank.
Dodge Aspen.
Oh God, this
Gotta
looks
look
like
it up.
This looks like the starter Hot Wheels Matchbox car that you
like
get.
just the box.
Yeah.
It's a
Yes.
box. Yeah.
Look at that thing.
Yeah.
Holy
What about
shit.
Mark? What
It
you
looks,
have, a
looks like
BMW?
it starred in
something?
every 1970s
Yeah.
like detective sitcom.
It's
that car.
It was the getaway car in probably every 1970s crime
Is that
show.
is this the Dukes of
Sure
Hazzard car?
was.
No.
No.
Oh no. Nothing that cool. So
You want to guess what Mark had as his first car?
Pogo stick.
I say BMW.
Gremlin
A Gremlin.
No.
with the rusted floorboard.
So my very first car was a present after graduating high school.
Oh, look at that.
It was a
You're 21, right?
brand new 97 Ford F-150.
Oh, look at
Wow.
he came from money. You came from
It
money.
had a bow on it and everything.
What do you
Wait. No.
No, seriously, my parents broke the bank for it. I grew up in a 5-room house, dude. My
But-
parents
That's
parents
nice.
worked very. My parents were very selfless people.
They
Like
sell the house to get the-
everything
See
they
what he
made.
say? This is like,
You sell the house to get the truck.
but this is like when you just grow up in a different way that you think that you grew up without money. It was just crazy.
No. We really did not, though. That's what I'm saying. Like my parents were that selfless.
Yeah.
This is a shout out to my parents because I think they still watch.
No, I'm
occasionally.
sure your parents are awesome. I've met them.
Yeah, they literally like they would spend every last dollar on my brother and I. Like it was,
Yeah,
it was
no,
pretty
that's awesome.
great parents.
What's your first car, Phil?
Yeah, I'm not gonna let you degenerates
I'm
defile
not.
that.
I'm not defiling
scumbags.
them. Nobody's saying that. I'm just saying you get a brand new F-150 for graduation.
This was a good theme song for Mark then.
Put a lot of hay bales back there.
I'm just, I'm sure nobody here got a car as a gift for the. I mean, I don't think our parents were selfish.
I got a car as a gift.
Oh, did you know?
I did, yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't.
For getting my license, I got a 2003 Saturn L300. $2,000 off Craigslist.
It's a hell of a machine.
So what was your, what year was this?
When you got it?
I don't know.
When'd you graduate, buddy?
2017.
Okay,
17, 18 year.
so it was a 14-year-old car, yeah.
I think I was 17, right? That's when you can get your license in Florida? Yeah. So, yeah. About there.
What did you get?
I had a 1988 Chevy Corsica that I bought for $600.
Chevy Corsica.
It was
a good car in 86.
Real piece of garbage.
In 86, it was a good car.
When I got it, it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, so what was how about this? What was
Chevrolet.
the first?
What does Corsica look like? I forget.
Jesus.
It looks like a Dodge Aspen 10 years later.
It does.
10 years later.
Oh, look at that thing. That's a luxury automobile.
Oh,
right
yes,
there.
it is.
This thing's ugly as hell.
What was the first car that you got that you were proud of?
My
How
car,
about
my next car.
F-150.
Yeah, your car right now.
My next one, yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
the F-150, right?
Yeah, but when I traded it in,
Well.
because again, so my parents leased it too. They didn't purchase it. So I traded it in, and I got a
Sounds rough.
2000 Ford Mustang.
So you've never had a car you weren't proud of, is what I'm hearing.
Basically.
It's coming from money. It's
I've had a couple of cars I wasn't happy to have.
Like, not because the car, but just how it performed or something, right?
I had a Scion SA at one point.
Yeah. Well, that matched you at that time, though, with the
thing's a piece
frosted
of shit.
tips.
Dude, no, that thing
That
was
fit
like
your aesthetic.
It was like, imagine me trying to fit in this little ass car.
But why'd you
It's like
buy
it? It was like that. I did because I didn't have money, Phil. That's
Well,
what I'm
that's
trying to
after you
goddamn
moved out of your
telling
house, right?
you.
When you were alone.
So how about you, Phil? What was
The first one I was proud of,
yeah?
I had a 5 Series BMW. Yeah.
That was right before you went in?
Yeah, around that time.
That's fucked.
The Eddie Bauer edition. It was a nice vehicle.
Yeah, Eddie Bauer. Back then, Eddie Bauer, like, you got an Eddie Bauer?
Yeah, power everything,
You
full
knew,
leather
yeah.
interior.
He doesn't know about Eddie Bauer.
Did you have the matching shirt? Did you have like an Eddie Bauer shirt that you would rock around after you got out of the car?
No, Eddie Bauer was out of style at that time, but
Yeah, but not the car.
yeah, not the car. The car was like 3 years old.
Yeah.
Pepsi Blue. I love that car.
Oh, man. Well.
All right.
What a time. Let's get into those comments, huh, Zach?
Yeah, so if you say something stupid, funny, somewhat
Smart.
yeah, we're gonna highlight you on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. Comment even on this YouTube video, comment, and you might get shouted out. The first one is kind of a spectrum of the things that we get. It's a double comment here, so I'll read both. T loading 510 or 510, sorry, and then Connor.Houston with 2 N's. The first one says W take. The second one says worst takes ever. right after each other.
Wow.
3-minute difference. So,
Wow. So what was the take about?
I think this was about helmets, our worst helmets.
Oh, yeah.
People
Yeah.
thought we were fucking a bunch of ring clouds there. Like,
Yeah.
just-
Well, it was shocking because like people either loved the fact that you liked the Bengals,
Yeah.
or hated the
Yeah.
fact that we hated the
Well,
Bengals.
to be fair, the way you cut the clip, it was just a compilation of all of our dislikes. So it looked like we hated every helmet.
Yeah, it did.
That's how you got to do it though,
Yeah,
because
no,
we did it
it's-
for the best helmets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got
Yeah.
2 seconds before someone changes their mind.
I don't care what anybody says. I don't like that helmet.
So people like that Bengals helmet?
Yes, I do.
No, well, I do think he had a good point. He said it was a generational thing. And for the most part, he's right. Although I did see some guys like my age that did like it.
Yeah.
I don't dislike it. I dislike it because it doesn't tie to the uniform.
But I think you were proven wrong on that. And that's why I didn't have that opinion.
The argument
No.
is that it's.
I
an
just don't like
alternative
how it
helmet, though.
looks.
It's a stupid argument.
And it's
You said-
it's a white Bengal tiger.
It's
You said it's gay.
flavorless.
You said
No.
it. Listen. You said it. You said in a vacuum.
Yeah.
It's a great looking uniform. I agree with that. They're
Yeah.
not the Snow Tigers.
They're not.
They are the Bengals. Stick with your color. I can't stand that.
That's an old take right there.
No. Listen. You got it like the.
Stick with your kind.
Listen, a couple years
Stick
ago.
with your colors, and that's it.
You don't
No,
understand
no.
when they first settled Cincinnati, there was Bengals all
Couple-
over the goddamn place.
White
There's
stay
no
with
Tigers.
white. Black stay with
Listen,
black.
that's not what I mean. A couple years ago, the Falcons,
But they
right?
mixed them. They went back
In
and
the
forth.
90s, when Deion was playing with the Falcons.
I love
right?
Deion Sanders.
The Falcons went black, all helmet black,
You
right?
don't go back.
Beautiful. But they have black in their uniforms. Perfect.
The Bengals technically have white in their uniforms.
Where? Their shoes?
Their pants.
Underwear? What?
The
Their
jersey,
pants.
the jersey number.
Their pants
the
are white.
numbers
No,
white.
it's not a dominant color in their uniforms.
Well, now we're getting.
Yeah, now it's.
No, come
now
on.
dominant colors, huh?
What if you're colorblind, Rocky?
You wouldn't
you
say
insensitive bastard.
If I were to say what are the
Well, the-
Bengals colors, you wouldn't say white. You would say
Well, when they play at home,
Orange.
their whole uniform is white. I get what you're saying, though.
you wouldn't say, oh no, they're white. You
Yeah.
wouldn't say the Browns are white. You'd say orange and brown. They
Just
have
don't-
white
hey,
on their uniforms too.
The main point is don't mix colors. Stick with your own.
Come on, that's
Go
not
with-
what I'm saying. You know
I'm not.
that.
What do you?
I'm not going to let you corral that, and I'm not going to let
Hey, for
him
number
clip
one,
it.
I'm not-
But no.
I'm not going to let him clip that.
He was just
into-
gonna clip. You ruined the clip. It would just been me saying that. Don't step on my clip, right?
Okay, you can clip him being racist, but
ladies,
I'm just
ladies,
saying
there's enough to go around.
Goddamn.
Stick with your kind.
I'll
That's
clip
all
whatever
I'm
you
saying.
want.
What a clip blocker down there.
Yeah, don't block the clip.
Jesus.
The last comment is from Maddie69SS.
Maddie.
It says, "Yo, the NFL is pretty entertaining. You should watch it sometime."
How old is Maddie? 16.
Probably with 69 in the username.
Did a shit yesterday. Way more than him.
he's
Probably.
either 16 or else he's like 48 and lives in his mom's house.
Damn, we got ratioed.
Yeah. We should invite Maddie on the show, though. We should.
Why?
Because I just,
Just
I
anybody
wanna
that
meet him.
insults us, we invite on the show.
Yeah, I want to hear what he's got to say.
Well, fuck Maddie. We're not putting him on the show, Rocky. Come on.
Yeah.
There's gotta be a standard.
Seriously.
Man,
Or
he's
else
a
we,
stand-
we might as well just be guys that bought equipment and made a podcast.
Well, everyone
Pretty
that has
much
a
what we
dick
are.
comment we're going to
what
put
we
on
are,
here?
but
Nah,
pretty much
get
what
out of
we
here.
yeah, but we don't want other people to know that.
The last final one that I forgot I had on here was from Real Joseph Kim on TikTok. Said, I think this is my AFC predictions. It said realistically the division winners will be the Jets, the Ravens, the Colts, and the Chiefs. Then Jets will be the first seed with 13-4.
Wow.
And I said this got to be Zach Wilson's burner account.
Wow.
There's no other way. And then he
Joe
went
Kim.
on. He went on to say that he truly believes it. So
No,
know,
listen, there's a lot of people, although I did see, I saw a couple clips of some camp battles. I don't know if you guys saw Danny Dimes hitting a handicap person.
Did
I
he hit
did.
a handicap
I
person?
saw that.
He
Yeah.
dinged someone. It was awful.
It wasn't on purpose, right?
I don't know. But Zach's looking pretty bad. Zach Wilson's looking pretty
That's all right.
bad.
It's just
Well,
Canada.
big off
Hey,
season.
this is when you want to look bad, though.
Whoa.
Well, who was it? It was the Jags kicker, right? Shanked three,
Oh,
and one of
yeah.
them actually knocked somebody off their
Yeah.
feet
Yes,
and
I
they cut them the
I've
next
seen
day.
that.
Yeah.
But preseason, I think it's when you want to look bad.
Yeah.
You're trying things out. You're taking risks. That you don't want to do it in a game. So I don't know about you. I don't really look too deep into preseason. As much as we slander Jalen Hurts for the report, it's
Saying.
kind of all bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, case in point. we
Maybe
start-
you don't believe that, but
It's BS until it's not BS.
Hall,
Well, I
of Fame
mean-
game, Hall of Fame game's Thursday, and they're,
I know.
it's the first week of practice.
T.
I don't know if
Law
you
and
guys-
Etienne aren't even playing.
I don't know if you guys saw, but Baker Mayfield and Robbie Anderson connected on a pretty nice pass today.
Did you
Well,
come?
They,
good for
they
them.
looked all chummy today.
Yeah.
You know, all chummy today. So.
I heard. Well, I
Chumbucket.
heard Darnold's winning the job through the first week.
Well, I heard
Whoa.
Mason's winning the job in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
How bad would that be?
I think it's bullshit.
They signed
but
two
it's all
quarterbacks.
bullshit, man.
Yeah. Well,
How long you been watching football?
yeah.
Do you even watch?
I don't know if you saw Pickens missed an easy pass
No, I
and then
didn't.
dove and caught it. And they're like, oh, he dove for a
Yeah.
pass.
Hey, I'm gonna a little update. Nobody watches Brown shit.
No, Pickens is on the Steelers.
Oh, I thought you were talking about who's the kid on the Browns that you've been talking about.
I talk about a lot of guys.
No,
on the Browns.
the receiver that you said might break out, the young kid.
David Bell, he's hurt.
No, not David Bell. Moving on.
That's an intro.
Yeah, there you go.
Pressing issues. What's the issue? If there's issues, we're gonna press them. Yeah, come on down. Baby, get ready.
This is special. This is special for me because we get to do this drop one last time.
Don't hit the wrong one.
There's a good chance I will, but let's see. This is the Deshaun
Watson Corner.
Got it.
I have never harassed anyone. I've never disrespected anyone.
So bad.
I've never forced anyone to do anything. Hey, itch my taint. Yeah, right there. That's the spot. Itch it. Woo! That's the ticket.
Get better and better every time, man.
I just picture you recording that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alone.
I was alone actually when I
Yes,
was
you were.
recording that, yeah. So, Deshaun Watson back in the news, and I don't think this will be the last time, but it definitely is this time.
You were correct.
Yeah.
Your prediction.
Yeah.
6 games.
Yep. What do we think about this?
I think his name's spelled wrong.
Is it really? Yeah. See, I really thought that was how you spelled it. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I'm sure there's people that spell it like that.
I'm gonna own that one because I really did think that was how you spelled it. So.
It's not a W, it's a single U.
So you.
Really well.
Yes.
It's a W here today, so we're gonna own this one.
Well,
so.
it's kind of a W that he's only getting suspended for 6 games. There's finally some concrete, we can now make predictions and decisions and kind of understand what's going to go on. But
So W, so you're saying you think that he only should have gotten 6 games.
that's not what I'm saying. I think from a football perspective, the Browns only get 6 games without him. I think that's salvageable enough for them. I can't really speak as a Browns fan.
No. What about the victims, though?
1 game for every 5 women he assaulted.
No, yeah.
That's
Good math.
That's ridiculous.
It is. I don't know.
Allegedly.
I feel like Mark's flip flop because Mark was 100% saying that he was okay, wasn't he?
He was.
No.
And we got in this argument
From the
texting.
very beginning, I said, where there's smoke, there's fire. I said, but we also do have to. I did. Like you do in any kind of media aspect, you got to play both sides, right? So I said that there's definitely some sort of guilt there, but they're going to have to find it. And if they don't find it, what does that mean?
Good question.
Yeah.
Here's what I think. I think that they obviously didn't have enough evidence to prosecute, and they had a mediator judge on what they've punished guys in the past. And this is more a symptom of how lenient the NFL has been in the past on other guys that have violated the conduct policy, and that's what's painting this. So they might appeal and try to get a longer suspension, but if it's still going to be decided based on precedent, you can't. I think it's the right punishment based on the precedent set.
Yeah. I think it's a ton to think to say about this, and
Morally is a different thing. So I just want to put that in there.
Trying to go back and forth. Being a Browns fan, I'm going to root for the Browns because they're my team, no matter what.
No matter what.
No matter what. And I think if we looked at every single team in the NFL, every team has somebody on their team.
Not like this, though.
I don't know. I
know.
I think every team has got somebody that maybe is not this out in the open or been caught this badly, but I don't know what's on every team. Mm-hmm. But here's what I know. I know that criminally there was not enough evidence to try him.
Yeah.
And not 1 but 2
grand juries
in Texas decided to not indict him. We know that. And they kind of passed the buck and said, in fact, if you look at what one of the people on the grand jury said is, it'll be interesting to see what the NFL comes up with.
Yeah.
Kind of passed the buck. There was 66 women that said they gave him massages. 30 that the Texans settled with.
Yeah.
24 that could be settled with by Watson. 23 that he has settled with. The NFL only talked to 12, and they only brought 4 cases to Sue Robinson.
Yes.
Both the players and the owners decided on Sue. So it wasn't just one. It was both sides said, we believe that she is the best person to decide not just this case, but the next cases for the next 3 or 4 years.
But I have a question. So Sue is not there to judge the case, though.
She's there to judge all cases for the next
I'm saying,
3
but
years.
she's not judging whether Watson assaulted those 4 women or not. She's judging whether the punishment had precedence.
So if you look, so I read her 16-page report.
Well, you're a nutcase, right? But I read some of it.
And all the footnotes. And if you look at after the first 8 pages, she basically says, nobody else has said this yet. She says he's guilty.
Well, yeah. Oh, no, I seen that.
Yeah.
But she's not judging whether he's guilty or not. That's where you're missing me.
So
here.
she's saying he's guilty of something. I'm uncomfortable with this.
Yes.
He used his NFL status
Yeah.
to get these ladies to do massages. Only 4.
Yeah.
Only 4. She only saw the evidence on 4.
Yeah.
So first of all, the NFL whittled down from 24 to 4.
All right, but you're still not addressing the point here.
Then what she said is, okay, but my job isn't to say whether he's guilty or not. My job is to say what is the punishment for these kind of issues within the NFL CBA.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then she looked at things like Ben Roethlisberger, when Zeke had domestic violence. And what she seemed to say is the difference is, yes, he had maybe 24 potential cases, but they were nonviolent.
Nonviolent, yep.
That's where she seemed to say. Now, people can say, oh, no, it had to be violent. Like his position of power, his influence, the fact that he was in a room alone with these women.
I think the word violence is convoluted at this point. But
Yes. But
yeah.
but if you look at Sue, Judge Robinson, and this is where I go down a rabbit hole, and that's why I get insulted by people that are knee-jerking, like you read a Twitter account by another, which Twitter account did you read before the show? And he was comparing it to...
Black Adam Schefter?
Black Adam Schefter.
Yeah. Okay.
Shout out.
These people drive me crazy because they're trying to draw comparisons that just don't exist. If you look at like Sue Robinson's actual cases when she was an actual judge, there was one case in 2003 where a bunch of prison inmates brought to her and said basically they were being treated unfairly.
Yes.
That it was overcrowded, they were being mistreated because of what they were being fed, all these things. And she basically said, hey, you got food, you got clothing, you got a place to sleep, you're fine. She is a very by the book. She has always been. And so what she did in this case is look at the CBA and said, in every other case, you gave 6 game suspensions. We can't retroactively go back and say, because you find this one more offensive or because there's more cases, we can't do that. I can't do that in good faith, even though I think he's guilty of something.
Yeah.
Now, she did put other conditions like he cannot have a massage outside of the training
I
center.
saw that, without the Browns' consent.
That's right. So, like, she put conditions around it, and she did say, seemed to say, I'd like to give more.
Yeah.
But I can't give more.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man! You just almost put me to sleep with that.
I thought that was
God
informative.
damn, this is so boring.
I thought
I'm
that was
so
important.
over this Deshaun Watson shit.
Well, I have a question
And
for
this
you guys.
is why you'd be the one on Twitter saying,
Ridley got
No, that's not a question.
for smoking weed. And
if he's guilty,
That's surprisingly a good impression.
Yeah, that was good.
if he's guilty, give him the goddamn games. If he's not, don't. It's been so fucking drugged through the mud. We're
100%.
talking the same shit over and over every week with this. It's
100%.
just-
100%.
So what do we think about Calvin Ridley getting a whole year compared to what Deshaun Watson got compared to what the other punishments are for certain actions?
Oh, you're asking like...
I
So
would-
there's
yeah, I
two
would like the
sides. It's like
opinion.
morally, and then there's...
So I understand the Ridley punishment.
All right, cool.
Because the NFL does not want anybody tampering with any sort of betting on games whatsoever that could potentially change the outcome of games.
we also know
sexual
what
allegations.
But we also know what he did. It's not an allegation.
I think what it is
But
that
it's the NFL. Like the NFL is like, well, you're fucking with my money, and now you're
no,
fucking
I
with the
think what it
integrity.
is
You're
that-
fucking with all of this.
I think the owners and the players are like, I'm not going to bet on the sport. I'm probably going to screw around with women and might get caught. Let's make listen, they're a bunch of hypocrites. The NFL and the players both put a harsher crime on things like betting, things that they
Right.
probably aren't going to do. They might screw around with a woman and get caught. That's what I
Which
think.
is why it's all crooked.
Exactly.
It's 100%.
To answer
crooked.
your question, there's two sides. Morally, it doesn't make sense, right? Because I argued for Ridley that it wasn't that big of a deal personally, but I understand why the league took action against it. On the other side of it, it's not it hasn't been proven that he did what he's being accused of. So how, in theory, can you punish him more than somebody that is guilty of the allegation?
Okay.
And that's just kind of, that's how I tend to look at whenever it comes to rules or law. I think you have to take emotion out of it if you're not a juror,
Right.
listening to an argument. If you're a judge or anything like that, it's two different sides. There's the moral side and there's the law.
So what if he is 100% guilty of everything that's going on with his cases?
He should be out of football.
Does the
he shouldn't be in a
NFL
position of power, authority. He should not be a role model in the community. He should be 100% out of football.
I guess when does it not become 6 games anymore? Because they're going off of past cases and past punishments. When is it like, okay, well, if we're doing a year for sports betting, when do we do a year and a half for et cetera?
I think if it was proven, if he was indicted and it was proven that he did it.
Well, I
think
think the CBA, like the next time it comes up, because the players want to talk like they have power. They don't have power. The
In
owners,
reality, unfortunately.
the owners have proven time and time again that they have the real power.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be them, the next CBA, to change this.
That's true. And you know what? To put a ball on this, at the end of the day, when they're in the playoffs, hopefully for you, right? And he wins a playoff game,
Who's going to care anymore?
People are not going to care, and they're going to look at it as, look what he's overcome. His
mean,
past.
people-
People will, but I guarantee you, people will be more lenient with him than they were with Michael Vick and those dogs. And he'll get up from this quicker than Michael Vick did. I guarantee you that. That followed Vick around for his whole career.
Man. That was so strange because Ray Lewis comes back immediately, all is forgiven and forgotten.
Well, he
But
wasn't.
something like
He wasn't.
Vic,
he killed a man, right?
Well, that allegedly.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
but you know what I'm saying is
Just
this.
saying it matters. You can't say that you believe in the law and then just say, well,
But
allegedly.
let me tell you, as a Browns
it is
fan-
what it is.
The Michael Vick thing though was funny too because he took a hit for basically his group around him because they were conducting these dog fighting.
It was bad judgment on his part, though.
Events without him even in town.
Yeah.
But
It was just like it was who he surrounded himself with.
As a Browns fan, the thing that shocks me, the thing that scares me is that he showed no remorse. Deshaun showed no remorse and continuously said, I did nothing wrong. I showed no disrespect to women. And when you read the decision by Sue,
Yeah.
he showed disrespect.
Listen, I'm not saying I'm on this side, but we do know that Sue's going based on the testimony of the 4 women as well.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
And I mean, we're in a changing society where standards have changed, and something that may have been accepted as a sexual advance 20 years ago is obsolete at this point.
Yeah, but I just hope this. I hope that, again, I'm a Browns fan. I'm going to cheer for the Browns. I hope he stays in counseling.
Why don't
I
you
hope-
go fucking massage him? Then?
I hope he. I hope
that'll
he's-
keep him out of. That'll keep him out of trouble.
I hope he.
They should give him just male massages.
only
I heard
gets,
Rocky has magic in those fingers.
I hope
he
he
does.
only gets massaged within the Browns organization.
That's right.
I hope for him, because if not,
Yeah.
all joking aside, if not, he'll end up he's got a mark on his head now. He'll end up in jail.
Yeah, he'll end up in jail. On a lighter note,
Yeah.
What do we think this does fantasy wise? How does it affect? Let's forget Watson. I think most people were planning on Watson missing time, but
Yep.
how does this affect the skill players around him? Does this maybe give you more value on getting some of these guys, or you're more likely to take Chubb early because maybe he gets more work early in the season?
Yeah.
Throw it to you, Mark, because you're the fantasy guy.
So Deshaun's his value has gone up. So anybody who has taken him in the lower rounds, he was going the last couple of rounds in drafts. Obviously, not knowing what was going to happen. Is it 6, 8, 12? Is he going to get an entire year? Since the 6th decision, obviously that has bumped him up quite a few rounds. You're still not seeing him taken as the QB1, obviously, because he's going to be sitting this the first 6 games. But he is now routinely being taken off the board as one of the first QB2s.
Well, and do you think that the NFL, because they have until
I think
Thursday to actually appeal this, and they can push for a longer sentence, and then one of two things can go. The NFL Players Union can actually either take it to federal court, and then he might play the whole season, or they can abide by the appeal, and then he can serve a longer sentence. And we don't know what's going to happen yet.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And I've never been a huge Deshaun believer anyway. I think a lot of his stats are skewed. The teams that he played for were playing from behind a lot of times, and a lot of his stuff is garbage time. I found a couple of like really interesting stats. I'm just going to see if I can recall any of them the other day. Like 30, he's got like 104 touchdown passes or 106 touchdown passes. Close to 40 of them have come in the fourth quarter. Completion percentage throughout the game is awful until it gets to the fourth quarter. Like, I mean, it's very much skewed. So he's playing on a, I hate to admit it, because he beats us over the head with Cleveland bullshit every week. But he's on a team that's not going to be playing from behind all the time like he was in Houston. Cleveland is set up to win. They've got a solid defense. They've got a pretty stable offense. They've definitely got a great running back duo. You put Deshaun in there. Deshaun is going to manage a game, I think, a little bit more. He's not going to be necessarily relied on to win games at the end like he was in Houston, because they're going to be playing from ahead a bunch, I think.
Mark, 39 fourth quarter touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right in everything you're saying. I do think they're going to, and they've already said their plan is, though, that there'll be more design runs with him because they'll have the ability to be ahead.
Yeah.
They will kind of skate him out and just say, hey, run if there's any sign of trouble and this play here. So I think you might lose some touchdown productions. You might gain some more yardage on the ground. He might drop out because for the last couple of years that he played, he was like a top 5 to 7 quarterback. He might fall to 10. I still think he's going to be a top 10.
Well, he's got to knock some rust off, right? But
2 years worth.
And not only that, I mean, let's say he is guilty, right? And they just didn't find him guilty. He's also kind of playing with the weight of that on his shoulders too. Like, do I even really deserve this?
I don't think he's got any.
No, you don't think he has that moral bone?
no, he according to him, he didn't do anything. But I did want to say what's going on with Alvin Kamara, because we were a little confused before the show. Clarify for us.
So apparently the Kamara news is that it is once again his trial is pushed back. Now it's either the end of September or October, which puts days. Him, if the NFL doesn't take action to kind of put him on like the exempt list or anything, something like that, where he will be suspended until the ruling is out. You're looking at Kamara now being available probably for the first 3 to 4 weeks. Before there's even the potential of a hearing and then a sentence. Yeah. So we went from looking at Kamara definitely out to now possibly out, and that's changed his draft stock pretty drastically, because you're talking about a running back that's routinely drafted within the first probably 6 picks. So he was going, even though the suspension looming, he was still going that 3rd to 4th round range. Occasionally you could get him in round 5. Those people are now getting another RB1 in the 4th and 5th round, but his stock has gone up. He's being taken in round 2 a bunch. People are believers that he's not going to be suspended before he goes to trial.
Well, the conviction is a felony, so it could be up to 1 to 5 years. I think the Saints don't think it's going to be the latter of that, because they haven't really drafted or signed anyone to really be a sturdy, like solid backup behind him. Yeah, I think if you get him in later rounds, especially in a dynasty league, it might be a steal. Yeah. But it's really hard to tell, because he can still get convicted, and 60 days officially of a postponement is something to swallow.
And it's multiple charges. It's misdemeanor and felony charges.
All right, well, let me just say this for people that don't know much about charges. Misdemeanor is nothing. Yeah. Really, it's really nothing. And the felony charge, even though it is a felony, a first-time felony, I'm assuming he has no other felonies on his record.
Not to my knowledge.
I mean, most of the time, these are cases where judges look at what's called mitigating factors. Is he productive? Is he a productive member of society? What's he been like? Character witnesses that write letters and come and speak for him. So the first time, guy that's in the NFL that typically has a clean record, he's not going to probably do any jail time. He'll pay a fine, maybe do some community service. So I wouldn't really be worried about that unless they're trying to make an example out of him for some reason.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about prison time. I'm just worried about the NFL suspension.
So I have a question for you. If I have Alvin Kamara in Dynasty, right?
Yeah.
Is it this news with the bump in his value? Do I trade him away or do I hold on to him?
No, I mean, if it's dynasty, I still think you hold on to him because he's not going to get, like you said, the 1 to 5 year. He's not going to serve any prison time for this. I did hear that some of the videotape out there is pretty egregious, and this guy was beaten pretty significantly, and they do have him. They're the rights throwing punches.
But you might miss out on him if he does. He might not go to jail, but he may get suspended after something comes down.
He should get suspended 6 games, which is what, like, again, the violent crime.
So you miss him for the heart of your season. You have him for the playoff run.
Maybe.
Right.
So this is the crazy thing is, so say the NFL does not suspend until legal action is taken, and we're already now talking about going into week 3, week 4. If that gets pushed back anymore, say this comes up week 10, week 11, now you're screwed. Because if he starts a 6-game suspension, you're going into your playoffs.
With that in mind, if I have him in Dynasty.
Well, Dynasty's a different animal.
Well,
Redraft, you get rid of him.
I know. Well, I'm saying in Dynasty, how old is Kamara?
26.
Okay, so he's getting a little long in the tooth, right? He's getting there, approaching it. If you're going to get 3 or 4 games out of him this season and you could cash in off of this news, why not make that move?
27.
He's 27.
Yeah, so he's got maybe, really 29 is kind of the cutoff.
Especially if he loses half a year and he's gone almost 2 years playing 5 games.
I don't think you can play this wrong either way. Honestly, I mean, you could hold on to him because he's going to be productive for a few more years. But
maybe
on the other side of the token, if you do find a trade partner, because there are going to be people that are going to be scared off of that too.
Yes, but you might find an idiot.
You might find an idiot, and if you can get a nice haul, that'll fill a couple of deficits on your team. Because I'm big on, I love trading one guy for 3 guys that'll fill multiple deficits on the team.
You love that.
Love it. I'll take 3 guys over one any day of the week.
Fill every hole you got.
Exactly. Then I would say take it at that point.
Yeah, I think if you get like a first round pick from, and maybe a starting player, a wide receiver 2 or something, I'd make that deal because just the uncertainty, his age, it's like you're banking on him being what he was really like.
Yeah.
Last year, 2 years from now. I mean,
and here's another one of those situations too. Like every time you've seen Kamara in the media, the guy always seemed like a very upstanding citizen.
Yeah.
He was always doing charitable work. He was always talking about.
Is that what it is? A bar fight?
Giving back to the kids.
Well, remember when he was an ass of the week?
No, not really.
Someone was talking about how he was ugly and he chased him down and.
Also, what's this about? This is about?
That's what this is, I think, right?
Yeah, I think.
So it's just
this is the same.
Okay,
but
so it's just
but
a
I
bar
think
fight.
that those
I don't
are
think he's an
mutually-
egregious human being for getting in a bar.
No,
fight,
I think.
Mark.
Well, I don't think those are mutually exclusive. I think
we might get in a bar fight in New Orleans. I mean,
you said
definitely.
it yourself that Deshaun was. You thought he was an upstanding citizen. Like I think that people have these sides, right? I mean, you can be both things. So
I have a final fantasy question real quick for you.
Final Fantasy,
The video game?
If Alvin Kamara, if you're not drafting Alvin Kamara, are you going with one of the old people behind him, like Mark Ingram or Malcolm Brown? Are you taking like a rookie or an undrafted free agent that the Saints have? What dynasty or redraft?
Who's the guy you want in
I
that
think your
backfield?
safest right now is Mark Ingram, but
It probably is safest, but I would think that your safest bet is to just stay away. You might want to take a late round flyer.
If
Well,
you're
they had
taking a Saints running back and you need a running back, and the Saints running backs are all available, what are you taking?
I mean, last year
At this point, Ingram.
last year I was really high on Tony Hill. I thought he looked fantastic in the preseason.
I like Ingram. Still, to me, is a guy that's going to plod.
He is
get
a
the
plotter.
goal line touches.
Yes.
He's not going to catch a lot of balls.
Yeah.
And
I
he's
might
been
want to
in-
play
he's
the
been in
up.
New Orleans forever.
I want to
too.
play the upside with Tony Hill if I have Kamara because I think he's going to fit more
Tony
that
Hill
role.
looked great last year.
Well, he's going to fit that role more than
in
Ingram is.
preseason, though.
He did, and
'cause
then
when
in
he was
regular
given the opportunity,
Well, he got
during the
hurt
regular
though.
season,
But he got hurt the first game, and it was not a big injury, but it was an injury that kind of affected him, and he could never get that foothold. But in the preseason, he was catching.
Yeah.
He was running like he looked
Pitching?
like
No.
he looked pitching, catching. Yeah, he looked like Alvin. Honestly, he looked like a young Alvin.
That's right.
Oh man.
All right, so let's get to our next part of Pressing Issues, which is a continuation of a segment we did last week where we picked our AFC division winners. We haven't got into wild card teams yet, and I think we'll do that next week, right? We're trying to segment this out. This week, we're doing NFC division winners. So we will do what we did last week. Instead of starting with Zach, we'll start with Rocky.
Good
And
choice.
we'll go with all 4 of your division winners. You could give us a little bit of a description, but let's
Yeah, well, let's start with
Keep
the
it
ones that I
concise,
think
right?
is the simplest. I think it's going to be it says St. Louis Rams because it's an old pictures, but I think we all know who they really are. It's the Los Angeles Rams.
Where the hell did you get that?
Hey, I was throwing this slide presentation.
You have the
together.
Redskins on there too, bro.
That's fine. No, this is good.
Yeah,
This is the classic NFL right here.
This is throwback. It's
I
a
feel like
throwback
I'm at
thing.
home.
So
This is the basis of where all of Rocky's arguments come from. Is from this era.
I mean, anytime you guys want to step up and do this slideshow, I'll let you guys.
But
But
I did the slideshows.
Wait.
They were pretty color coordinated for 2 weeks. I'm just
I like them.
pretty good, yeah.
I like it.
Is
So-
that the Chicago Cardinals up there? Is that who we have?
This is when men were men.
no, Arizona's correct actually. But I will go 100%.
Is that Phoenix?
100. No, it's actually the right one there. But I actually will say it's going to be Los Angeles Rams for sure in that division.
without a doubt.
I'm having a tough time in the East, to be honest with you, because
Yeah.
I think it is it's a lot more up in the air to me than I'd like to admit.
I think it is probably the most up in the air of all of them.
I like a lot, as much as I joke around with young Zachy there. If
Zachy.
I don't know what he just did, but he did something terrible to his drink.
Did you over?
He overindulged
Overdrip?
with the chocolate
I
bitters.
got excited when he was. I was prepared for what you're about to say. And I was like, "Ugh," and I squeezed a little too
He
extra.
gets so excited.
I got to be honest. I joke a lot about Jalen, but there's a semblance of truth there. If I knew what he was going to be this year, it would be 100% Philadelphia Eagles.
So pick something.
But
Yeah, you're really belaboring this.
because I'm nervous about
Come
picking
back.
them.
Come
and I
back.
think that, but
It's
I'm
okay
going
to be wrong.
I'm
It
going to
don't
go
matter.
with my heart and say I think it's going to be the Eagles because I think there's a lot of talent around them. Next in the South, I think it's going to be Tampa Bay. I think that they're good enough. I don't see any other team competing with them. In the North, I don't think how you have to go with Chicago. They're clearly the best. Sorry, Mark.
Such a bad joke.
So you're gonna pick the division winner.
Yeah, I
Crusty clown over here.
am going to go one more year, Green Bay, but I am really
After-
torn.
Yeah.
I'm really
After calling
torn.
the Packers wide receivers a pile of sticks.
They are
Pile
a
of
pile of
sticks.
sticks. But you know what makes me feel like they're better than I think is
That
that
picture of
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers in a tank top.
It's a pretty good picture, but Rodgers is really high, and he says
Always.
that he says that the wide receivers are coming along. He feels really good about.
I'm sure he
We
did.
call that camp talk,
That's
Rock.
coach speak.
Everybody's
From
in the
a-
best
from a
shape of their
quarterback.
lives.
Listen,
Look better than they have. They're really focused.
I've watched Dobbs.
He called Alan Lazard a Hall of Famer.
But
No, that was a backhanded.
he did. It was a
Compliment for
backhanded,
sure.
but
I'm just saying what you say in camp is what you say in camp.
But Lazard's been with him now
Right.
how many years? He does seem to like him. There's a certain chemistry working out.
Next, Jordy Nelson. Nothing to
like-
do with him being white.
I like Dobbs
Ish.
a lot. So I'm going to pick Green Bay one more year. If I had to pick a second place team, I think it's going to be Minnesota.
Well,
Okay.
Green
That's next-
Bay's
that's next week.
wide receivers are a heap of shit.
All right,
They're
my
a
turn,
bunch
right?
of trash
My turn.
bags running around out
all
there.
right, Bill.
All
there you
right.
go.
So I'll start with the North. And I'm going to say the Vikings are going to win this division this year. A little bit of a backtrack, but, I just feel like they get it done. I think Chicago will be better than people think. I also think Detroit will. I think that division will be more competitive
Yeah, it will be.
than any other division besides the East this year. But I do like the
Really?
Vikings. Yeah, I don't
Over the
think-
West?
Yeah, I don't really think there's nobody that's going to let me get to the West when I get to the
If
West.
Chicago would get Justin a line, I would agree with you.
What? That they're going to be competitive?
I don't like their line. I don't like Chicago's line. I like other parts of their team.
Okay, that's
They're
fair.
actually,
I mean,
they're
I'm
getting
not going
ready
to
to
argue
trade-
with you too much, but
Tevin Jenkins too.
so I got Minnesota winning the North. In the South, I think that's probably the easiest. Tampa Bay is the class of that division. I think New Orleans does have their number for some reason, but I don't think throughout the length of the season they'll outperform them. Whatever. All right. So we'll do the East, and now the East to me, this is tough because I did say Philly was going to win at one point. I did also bet Zach that the Giants would have a better record, right? So conundrum there. I think Dallas is going to take a step back. I know it sounds crazy, but I think it's going to hurt to lose Cooper. They just lost. What's the kid's name in camp? One of the other wideouts.
Washington.
There you go. James Washington went down. Zeke's another year older.
Linked to Will Fuller now.
I think Mike McCarthy is decidedly the worst coach in that division right now.
Yep.
And then Washington, the Redskins, as it says here, it's the Carson Wentz factor. I just don't know what he's going to do. I think he's too unpredictable, and we can say that for the other two quarterbacks I'm going to talk about next. But I think it's a match between the Eagles and the Giants to win this division, and I got to go with my bet. I'm going to go with the Giants, and it's a homer pick, but I think it's close enough that I'm going to go with that. And I will take the Giants to win the NFC East. The West, I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers to win the West.
Trey Lance, look at that.
I think that the Rams are going to take a step back, too.
Oh, man.
And that's all I'm saying.
I love that everyone is quiet, so that's
It's a
perfect
good
clip.
pick. Good pick. It's a gutsy pick.
Which one?
San Fran.
Why?
I don't think it's
They were in the title game the year before.
It's not a go-to pick.
It's a gutsy pick only because you're betting on Trey Lance.
And you're betting a lot on Trey Lance. People are saying that he's not ready. Other teams are saying it's an early Christmas gift.
That's Cam Talk.
Oh, now it's Cam Talk.
No, what I'm saying, you guys just said
Cam Talk.
twice it's Cam Talk. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Okay.
you're right.
Hashtag it's Cam
I just
Talk.
think they still have that defense.
I
They still have
drafted-
that running game. They still have Debo Samuel. They still have, even
Who
though
is
a
now
guy that
signed.
chokes in the playoffs, still have Kyle Shanahan.
No, I agree with you. I drafted Trey Lance in 4 of my 7 dynasty leagues. I like Trey Lance. I'm just saying that's why I couldn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong.
Does anybody? Well, I'll let you get to the West. Go, Mark.
My turn to go here?
Go Jamarcus.
That's how it works.
Go Jamarcus.
All right. All right, let's start off with the one that I think is
Chicago.
probably the easiest, and that is I don't know.
I pitched you the West, so you could have just went there, right?
Oh, is that what we're doing? The West?
Yeah.
So the way I don't disagree with you. I don't know what happens with the Rams this year. I think they're going to be a solid team. I do like what San Francisco is doing. I don't like that Mike McDaniel left there though. So
That's true, yeah.
So it's a completely new offense, and it's
might
Trey
be-
Lance's turn.
It might
so
be a good thing, though.
Could be a good thing. Could be a good thing. But I think Mike McDaniel's going to do phenomenal at Miami.
I'm just saying for Lance, it might work in his favor.
Yeah, I think Arizona, if they can keep their head above water before D Hop comes back,
I don't believe it.
I think Arizona might be
It's a
half
short
decent,
joke about Kyler.
but I will take the Rams here. I do like the Rams in that division.
That's fair.
The South, I am going to go with the Buccaneers here. They're bringing the whole cast back again, aside from Gronk.
I just don't think there's
It's
anybody
still
that.
rumored to come back. Maybe
You know what though? Believe it or not, Atlanta's going to be a lot better than people are giving them credit for. Marcus Mariota is going to do a great job in Atlanta with
He's
that wide
looked
receiver
good.
core.
I just don't think they'll compete for the division.
No, but they're going to be better
Yeah.
than they were. Their defense, little suspect. Carolina, I think Carolina's offense is actually like high octane, and I think their defense is pretty solid. I think Carolina's going to be better than people think. And believe it or not, I know we got a lot of shit on our socials about how could you leave the Saints out of the playoffs. The Saints are looking pretty good, man. If Jameis can
Now
reel
they
it in
are.
a little bit,
Now they are with the offseason moves.
Yes.
and if Kamara does play,
if Michael Thomas is healthy, I think too.
well, even with that, they still have Jarvis Landry. They still have Chris Olave. I mean, they're going to be all right. And that defense is very solid. But I still will take Tampa Bay there.
It's fair. It's the right move.
Now the other two divisions. These are the fun ones, and
Yes, they are.
I'm not going to go with your standard picks here. And
Okay.
I want to see some of this shit debated online.
Uh-huh.
All right. So with the East, although I will say I'm going to align with you. I think the Giants might win this division.
So do I.
I think that they are set up because I don't know what I'm getting with Jalen Hurts. Now, Philadelphia put themselves in a great position, but it's still Jalen Hurts and still fuck Philly and fuck you and fuck Jalen. I don't care. So
I'm letting you
I
talk.
I
letting
think
you
that the
talk.
Giants. I think that the Giants also put themselves in a great position. I think they're trying to shore up that offensive line for Danny Dimes. Now,
Offensively, I'm with you.
I know apparently he's hitting handicap people on the sideline with Aaron passes
Maybe he
and shit
deserved
during
it.
practice.
Maybe he
but-
deserved it.
Exactly. You don't know. You don't know at all. Maybe it's one of those longest yard type situations.
Yeah.
But that offense, if Saquon can come back healthy, they picked up a rookie in the draft. They had Matt Breida, who has been a solid backup throughout his career. If Galladay can come back, I mean, there's a lot of if this can happen.
Mm-hmm.
But they went out and they also addressed defense. I don't know, man. I like them as a sleeper pick to win this division.
That's
now.
such a cold take. I can't believe it. You don't know what you're getting with Jalen Hurts, but you know what you're getting with Daniel Jones and a new head coach. And
Well, I do. I know what I'm getting with Daniel Jones. I'm not getting bonehead plays like I would get from Jalen Hurts.
I mean, the man tripped over his own legs.
No,
That's a bonehead
He
play.
tripped over the 7-yard line is what he tripped over. He tripped over a hash mark.
All right.
And the North. Here it goes.
Mighty North.
The Detroit Lions.
Shut up.
So let me throw you a couple of stats out here.
I
Right?
thought he was going Lions
With
for
these-
a second.
Hey, Hard Knocks is coming up too. I'm buying in by the end of Hard Knocks.
Hey,
So-
Jared Goff was great at second half last year. He was a good quarterback.
Dude, so Goff has been there before. He knows how to win. He's a solid quarterback, and he's been in the dance, right? They've surrounded him with weapons. So they got Jamison Williams that will be coming back off the injury. They have DJ Chark, and they have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is explosive. They have one of the better tight ends in the league in TJ Hawkinson. They addressed the defensive side of the ball in the draft, and DeAndre Swift is going to be a top 5 back this year.
I agree with you.
And they got Akuda coming back, who's been injured the last 2 years, but was
100%.
a top 5 pick the year before.
So last year, when they were decimated and complete shit and learning a new offense, all these new players, listen to these games. They were in almost every game. San Fran beats them by 8 points. Green Bay beats them by 18. Okay. Baltimore beats them by 2. Chicago by 10. Minnesota by 2. The one game that Cincinnati blew them out 34-11, and Philly blew them out 44-6.
You should have just highlighted the ones where they were close.
The Rams only beat them by 9. They tie the Steelers. The Browns by 3. Chicago by 2 again. Minnesota by 2 again.
Good thing this didn't take long.
Atlanta
I think
by
you're
4, and Green Bay. They beat Green Bay. So they beat Green Bay. They beat Arizona
When they were benching their starters.
So I'm just
It's a
saying,
decent
man.
take. Why don't we get like Zach's pick? Because I think we're like in an hour
yeah,
already.
probably.
You really
yeah,
went
very
Lions
close
there.
to it.
Wow.
Very close.
Well, it's because it's also the North, and I know that Chicago's not going to win the division, and I fucking hate the Packers.
No, wait.
And Minnesota, for all I care, can fucking
All joking though,
fall into a sinkhole.
you agree with me. If Chicago would just like their line, I'm scared to death of their line still.
Yeah, but so they do have the number 1 strength of schedule for running backs, and David Montgomery is a beast in the backfield. So if they can get the running game going with Montgomery, Khalil Herbert, and Justin Fields with the easiest strength of schedule against running opponents, Chicago's going to be better than people.
I love
think,
it.
too.
Preseason, huh?
Yeah, man.
Everybody's drinking the juice. Your
Hell
turn.
yeah.
All right, so I guess I'll start with the division that you finished with. I'll start with the NFC North. I think Aaron Rodgers is the only reason why I consider the Packers to potentially win the division, but I'm going to go Vikings. It's no secret that I think the Vikings are going to have a good season.
You've got a chubby for the
The
Vikings.
Dalvin Cook hand injury scare, that is, fresh news.
Wrap it up.
Scares me just a little bit.
Tape it up.
But Kevin O'Connell, as a new head coach, is going to make that offense new. It's going to make Justin Jefferson that much better. I think that's a good defense that they've brought some players in. So Vikings win the North. I'm just going to go with the easiest one after that. The NFC South is the Bucks, and there's no debate there. I'll do the Saints are kind of nice. I'm going to go NFC West. I think it's the Rams also. I'm not a believer in the 49ers. That might come back to bite me, but Trey Lance just does not seem to be ready. And I think them losing their offensive coordinator is going to sting just a little bit, at least at the beginning of the season. NFC East is, again, the most up in the air division. You guys are all right about who you're taking. I'm going to try and stick to my way too early predictions. I have the Eagles and the Commanders both making the playoffs. Damned if I don't fucking pick the Eagles to win the division. As much as I don't want to jinx it, I truly think that, it's theirs to lose. They need to make the right steps to do it. But with the offseason that they've had, with the confidence that the organization has in Jalen Hurts for at least this year, I think they're going to win the division.
Growing up where I grew up, this is every Eagles fan.
But this
every
is-
year,
listen,
this time of year.
I'm not going to be the bad Giants fan. And like I said, I think it is a toss-up. I just got to go with my team here. For me, what I think. I do think Dallas is going to take a step back, and I don't trust Wentz. That being said, the last time the Eagles had an offseason like this was in 2011. And that
It was
team
the dream
flamed
team.
out.
Yeah.
The dream team.
That's
And
why
they
I'm
said
trying
they
to
got-
I'm trying to keep expectations low, and anyone that knows me personally, I don't. They call it pulling a Marin. Like, I keep my expectations low, so I don't get
Listen,
underwhelmed by
you
them.
pull Jalen, you put my guy in there, Gardner.
Oh, did you watch
and I'm
that?
all like,
Did you watch that piece on him living in the... I mean, how can you not like
He's cool as
Gardner
hell.
Minshew?
Just like pull Jalen, put Gardner, and I'm even more.
I mean,
like I
Jalen's-
picked him,
Jalen's
and
used
I
to
would
it.
even be more.
Yeah, the
They
Eagles-
was used to it. They did it for. I mean, Jesus, they did it for Tua.
Eagles won a Super Bowl with the backup quarterback that everyone loved. That was also, to Phil's credit, White. So
So I want to petition
Big Dick Nick.
social media world. Lions fans, get on there, man, and back me up because I'm going to get a lot of that. He's a casual. That's a goddamn L-take shit for this Detroit Lions winning
he
this
gets so
division.
mad. He gets so angry.
Get on there, Lions fans, if there are any, and back me up.
Back them up. All right, on to our next segment.
Ass of the week.
That guy's an asshole.
And who was our ass of the week this week, Rocky? Do you know the fella's name?
No, I don't.
Stephen Ross.
And
Stephen and the Miami Dolphins, but Stephen Ross, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's the guy.
Yeah.
We're just not going
Yes.
to call
Yeah.
the Dolphin on the logo. The ass.
Dolphin.
Well, it's the whole team, and
Well,
and
I
of
don't know,
course
is it the players?
by connection, the biggest ass of
The week.
everything.
So what happened?
Tom Brady. He's involved in another scandal.
Jesus.
Deflategate all over again.
He is a scandalous guy.
He is. Yeah.
I mean,
He's-
You're not lying.
no, I'm not.
I mean, we can boil on that, but I was gonna say Stephen Ross was suspended for not only improper conversation with Tom Brady and Sean Payton, Tom Brady since 2019 allegedly. It's also all about Brian Flores and how he was instructed to lose games. It also comes down to just how they've been conducting themselves behind the scenes for a few years now.
Did Tom Brady get suspended?
No, sir.
No. Tom
Rig-
didn't get
rigged.
Yeah. I mean, so he got suspended. What does that mean when an owner gets suspended?
Well, I mean, their picks are bye-bye.
Yeah, so he loses picks, right?
Yeah,
Loses-
first round next year, third round 2024.
Yeah.
But what does
And
that
he can't
mean?
come to the game. Can't come to the game.
Can he not
no.
watch your games?
You can watch him at home.
No, I think he should be put into like a chamber.
Also,
These
What do
guys,
you got to get Stephen Ross?
it's not like Robert Kraft never goes to any of his goddamn games either.
Yeah,
the
he's
guy's always getting
jerked off
handies.
in Miami.
you
Crying out loud.
also get a
These guys
$1.5
don't give a
million
shit.
fine as a,
Oh, yeah,
as a
it's
GM.
like
or
he's
I mean,
got that in his
owner.
pocket. He's like, oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Let me sell some crypto.
So are the Dolphins like an all-time shitty organization now?
Not all time.
Not all time.
Are they like because people think the Cowboys are pretty convict-esque because of who they add onto the team, and people think the Eagles have dirty players as well. So where do the Dolphins rank?
I think starts and stops with the owners in the NFL.
So what's the scandal? He was trying to court them to Miami.
Sean Payton and
Just-
Tom Brady. He
just-
had
it was
orchestrated the whole thing where Tom retired.
Yeah, that's what was
Sean
supposed to happen.
retired, and they were coming both, and so they
It's-
proved tampering.
It's tampering, and it's also making your head coach tank football
Yeah.
games and providing incentive to
But
do
he-
so.
So
He
listen,
didn't get
Tom.
caught for
I'm
that,
okay
though,
with
right?
this.
Tom should
It's
be
part of it.
suspended for 6 games, and Sean Payton should not be allowed to coach whatever team picks him up. When he comes back in, he should be suspended
What did
for
Tom
6
do wrong?
They were in on it. They got tampered with.
So now you're victim blaming.
Once again, Tom is innocent. This
Yeah.
this fucking
Piece of shit.
this
They were just kept calling him.
cross
That's
you
how
have
I
to
read
bear
it.
with Tom is so
Tom
unfair.
Brady,
It's
listen.
disgusting.
It is what it is. He's the mayote. I'm okay, mapote, whatever it is.
Just had a stroke there.
But he is not, listen, he's not the guy that we see in these commercials.
I think he is. I think he's a wonderful man.
He's a deflategate. He's watching
Bill
film.
Belichick.
Hey, he's
Bill
watching
Belichick.
film that he's
Bill
got.
Belichick.
Yeah, that's his lackey. That's it.
Yeah, okay.
And now he got this guy as his lackey. And he got
Sean Payton caught up
got
in
the
it.
guy from Tampa fired. What's the coach's name? I'm blanking
Arians.
on
Whistle
now.
Hunt?
Arians.
Whistle Nut?
Arian got him
Arians,
fired.
That guy.
Son of a
So yeah, Dolphins do better.
Sean Payton. This guy's calling shots on people.
Okay.
Now
Rocky's just trying to get the Browns in a better spotlight.
All right, is it-
I
let's-
play in a fantasy football league with Rocky where he consistently on a daily
Piece of
basis
garbage, right?
will tell the thread. I plan on tanking this year, so like use all your picks for high draft picks next year. I mean, I don't have a problem with this.
Hey,
That's all Stephen Ross was
I got,
doing. This is
I had
fantasy
a
football
ton,
for
listen, I had a
billionaires.
ton of picks in the first round. I made my team better this year. He knows it. He doesn't want to hear
Because
it.
you tanked.
You're a process guy.
You're a tanker.
I'm a processor.
You're a
right?
big process guy.
They gave me this team that was like the team was a flaming turd just on fire, and they're here, take it.
So, the commissioner, right? He sends out in the group text today. He's like, "Don't forget to vote on the new league poll." And immediately, right? I smell rat. I'm like, first off, I have not looked at what this vote is about. I said, but I can almost assure you that this was a fucking Rocky idea, and my vote is no.
Yeah.
He goes, "Well, get ready to vote no."
Yeah,
Rocky
it actually
bringing some-
wasn't a Rocky idea. It was a John, this commissioner, who goes back and forth like a freaking chameleon. It was his idea that he changed his mind about like a little child.
How can you bring players on and off the taxi squad all year long? You get one
I
shot.
didn't say it. John said it.
Hey guys, nobody cares,
Nobody
right?
cares.
Let's get to our next segment.
I'm Ron Burgundy. You stay classy, San Diego. I'm Ron Burgundy. You stay classy, San Diego.
Okay, and we're talking about Mr. Bill Russell, huh?
Yeah, rest in peace.
Mr. Mount Rushmore sports figures of
Now,
all
these
time.
pictures are a little grainy because this is a long time ago, but we got him as
Oh, that one's nice up in the corner.
College.
There. That's a good one. You should have just went with that one.
college rookie. We got him like midstream there in his pro career.
I don't know about his shooting form in that middle one.
But and then we got like just
I know
Oh, wow.
about it. I know all about it. 11 championships. That's
Yeah.
what that shooting form is
13
all about.
seasons.
13 seasons.
Yeah.
55
First black
games.
head coach of all time.
Yeah.
Which is, and he
Which
never.
I didn't realize that actually.
I never ever hear him in any
Player
debate
coach.
for best basketball player of all time. I never hear him in any debate.
I do.
And this is like,
I do.
You hear sometimes, but it's always like in comparison to like his time. Like
Yeah,
you know,
his
they don't
generation.
compare him to like Michael.
Yeah.
I mean, 11 and 13 seasons. That is unprecedented. I mean, if you want to give Brady the credit that Brady deserves with his Super Bowls and how long he's been there, I mean, Bill Russell did the same thing. Only he did it at a higher
And he
higher
did it in low
efficiency.
tops.
Yeah,
It's true.
swag.
Swag.
But Bill Russell, man,
And short shorts.
and you know, let's just talk about the man. I mean,
Yeah.
off the court, a leader in the community, a leader for NBA players, a guy that they all looked up to, and I think we were pretty lucky as NBA people that are NBA fans to have him around for as long as we did. I mean, the guy lived a long time, and he had his wits about him, and it was cool to still have him around. Kobe and Barkley and all those guys, and I mean, it's just a sad day when you lose somebody like that.
Well, I think when you're talking about players that changed the game, that changed the way the game was played,
Changed a lot in this
yeah.
country, not just the game.
Yeah, he was a civil
that's
rights
true. Yeah.
activist too. I mean, 88 is impressive.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys ever listened to him talk. He was a no nonsense,
Yeah.
smart guy. I mean, Bill Russell, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Well, and I think he carried himself with a certain degree of class too, like always.
And I think that's why he was able to speak the way he was too, because everyone respected him and knew how classy he was. Like he never pandered to the audience. If
Nope.
he didn't think that somebody was deserving of being in the same, conversation as another player, he would straight up tell you it's horseshit.
yeah,
He was
Well,
a stand-up dude.
And I think of all the stats that he had that are real impressive. To me, the last one, the only player named to the NBA's 25th, 35th, 50th, and 75th anniversary teams.
And I believe
That's
that
impressive.
when he was the first black head coach in league history, it was his last 2 seasons as a player.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
a player coach.
Yeah.
Well,
Which,
so
I
that
mean,
means
when
he
will we
won.
ever see that again? I mean, LeBron's pretty close, but
He's definitely a player GM, but
but yeah, I mean, it's a hell of
It's
a
a sad
career,
day,
hell of
yeah.
a life.
yeah. I think few people that genuinely across you almost can't find somebody who
Yeah.
disagree. Nobody, you pull up his name. Nobody.
He's respected
disagree.
among everybody.
You almost never get anybody who says I hate that guy.
Yeah.
Almost anybody else, you're going to get somebody who hates
fair.
him.
I feel like I ended this segment twice already. Pretty strong closing lines, and you just kept on talking.
Well, let's go on to our next section.
I haven't heard this one. Yeah, so I mean, I mentioned at the top of the show the dog days of summer, and I think, I mean, this part of the year, as sports fans, you're looking at training camp, and that's kind of it because baseball is just dead at this time. But a story we have is the New York Yankees and Aaron Judge chasing the home run record. I think the big debate, though, that I was hearing on the radio, sports radio at least, is whether or not this is going to be a big deal coming down the stretch. If he's approaching Roger Maris's record, and it gets into the conversation with Sosa, and McGuire, and Bonds, and the steroids, and that record, and I think a lot of people fall on different sides of this, and it kind of it spreads across all ages. I used to think it was an age thing, but I'm finding that a lot of young people don't really respect that record these days. But what do you guys think? If he breaks the 61, are you going to look at that as the new home run record, or are you going to still look at Bond 73 as the record?
I can answer that real quick.
Go for it.
I mean, I think if you're quote unquote, or not quote unquote, but if you're in some degree cheating and you have the record, I don't think it really does matter. I think if you get the home run record, naturally, then you have the home run record.
It isn't the record, but it's technically the record, though.
Yeah, that's my issue. It's like Major League Baseball allowed it. They allowed the race to take effect. Mm-hmm. They knew those
they're
guys
making money.
Yeah, and they knew those guys were juicing, and they needed those guys to have that home run race because baseball was struggling back then. So they encouraged it. There was nobody that didn't know that Sosa and McGuire and all those Bonds, everybody knew those guys, were juicing. Yeah. So, I mean, they kind of endorsed it to me, and then they kind of retroactively went back and said, well, let's put an asterisk. So,
well, let's face it. I mean, baseball has needed a facelift here for a little while. I mean, I say shit. Let them all juice, man. Let them all juice, right? The pitchers should definitely get to have oil underneath their hat. I'd say make the game challenging as shit, man. Yeah. Make these guys take a couple shots before the game, too.
There you go.
Well, I would say let the batters juice, but the pitchers not, because we need more runs. That's what we need.
But you didn't answer the question. Do you think it would be, in your mind personally, would you look at it, he broke the home run record, or would you still be looking at Bonds?
So I'm joking, obviously. I don't consider Bonds' home run record the home run record. I think that if you cheat the game and are afforded, an award such as that from cheating, you really didn't earn it. Mm-hmm. So,
But are you okay with stolen signals?
With stolen, well, I mean,
in what way do you mean?
Yeah,
so I mean,
that's a double-edged sword. So if you're on second base, and you can see the
as
catcher,
a player, I mean that's part of the game,
right?
Yeah.
So
that's not the same thing.
I don't agree with what the Astros.
You think that's the same thing?
Well, but I'm saying like strict definition of cheating. That's
not cheating.
That's not cheating. So what the Astros did was cheating.
If you jump the count on a quarterback because you got his timing down, that's not cheating,
right?
That is stealing signs from second base.
That's fair.
If you're using I think the clear line in the sand is using a device or technology to steal signs kind of separates it from a player on the field figuring out what you're doing.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I'm a purist. I would say that I don't count Bonds. I don't count anything that those guys did.
But you think Aaron Judge is on the juice, though. So, right? So let's talk about that.
No, I don't know enough about Aaron to know whether he's on the juice.
You said that.
I tell you what,
show.
Aaron Judge never went from a stick figure to a hulking human being like we watched happen before our eyes with both Mark McGuire and Barry Bonds. And
right, but he could have been.
For that.
But he might have been HGHing or juicing from the very beginning. So
no, he's kind of this size in high school. But I want to hear your theory.
About him?
Yeah, because you said before the show he was on the juice.
I hate all Yankees. I hate everything Yankees.
That's the theory.
Why is that?
Theory.
You just hate a lot.
I hate them because they beat the Indians when they were the Indians, and they beat the Guardians right now. So
they're still in the hunt, right, for a wild card spot?
Not really.
Yeah, they're like 2-3 games back.
We think Aaron Judge beats the home run record, or
he's on pace for 67 home runs right now. So I think he's
not going to be Bonds if we consider that the record, probably.
Yeah, I think he could catch Sosa, though, at 66.
Yeah, and he should be able to beat
McGuire.
The only thing that's going to come in, there's two things here. There's 2 months left, but there's going to be, they have like a 12, 13 game lead. How much is he going to play? Is he going to rest more towards the end of the season? And the other thing is the Major League Baseball, like we said, I think they will get on board with this and try to make it a big deal. I think they'll get behind him breaking that record because it is still the American League record and it is the Yankee record. Yeah. But they want Judge to be one of the faces of baseball. I think they'll get behind it. The problem is it's going to put pressure on the Yankees to play him when maybe they want to rest him.
Well, I think the MLB wants him to beat Bond's record. They want that record.
I don't think it'll
stricken,
happen.
From the record book.
I mean, he'd have to go nuts.
So, speaking to the points that you made, I think as we get into playoff baseball season, as we get into late August, September, heading towards October, I don't know that they will sit him. Maybe they'll DH him a little bit more often, but the thing that he definitely has working in his favor is you can't pitch around them.
Because he's protected.
Because that lineup is friggin' loaded, man. And it's loaded with right-handed bats, left-handed bats. You're not pitching around the guy, so he's going to see pitches.
Yeah.
So I think that bodes well for him, provided that he is in the lineup, to beat Maris's home run record.
And I think, all bias aside, I think it's going to be exciting for sports fans when ESPN gets to the point where they're breaking into his at-bats like they were with Sosa and McGuire. And I think they will. I think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And we're in the last 2 weeks of the season, and and you're getting to see that live. That's going to be fun, and it maybe gives the playoffs a little bit of juice, and maybe they could carry that over into next year. I do think they need to start investing more, like you said, into the offensive side of baseball, and maybe trying to show off those stars more. Like maybe, put in those breaking into seeing Juan Soto at bat, seeing Judge at bat, seeing I forget the guy, seeing Trey Turner. You want to highlight these guys.
I like pitching.
Pete Alonso, sorry.
Like, I really enjoy a good pitching duel. But
I do like Pete Alonso.
The reality is, baseball in general is like the age range of people that watch baseball.
Yeah.
It's old. Like they got to find a way to gain.
Well, here's the thing. Nationally, it's old.
Yeah.
It's a regional sport. So regionally, the teams that support, that's why they have these big TV contracts. It's just not a national game anymore. You don't have national baseball games. You don't have Thursday night baseball, Monday night baseball. You just have Sunday night. So that's the issue, but that's kind of what it lends itself to.
But kids still play the sport. That's the crazy thing. You go like to any field anywhere,
because
it's still popular.
See, but here's the thing too. I think with baseball, it's unique in the fact that when you have stories of when you're growing up and like any team that's really been passed on by your father, it's more so baseball than any other sport. And you always hear baseball being like the first sporting event that fathers take their children to. And it seems like it's always in the family, and I think that helps keep it modernized in its own right, is the fact that you just kind of grow up in that family rooting for that same team, and it's kind of passed down. And I don't think baseball's really lost any steam, and they've gone through a couple of lockouts, and
they definitely lost steam.
I think it's
they've
still
lost
there.
steam nationally for sure.
Well, and I think it's being
basketball has
replaced
overtook them.
I think it's being replaced some, because there are like some emerging sports, like when you got like field hockey, you got like, you've got some. Listen,
the big is the NBA is the big bad. They're the ones that have become the second most popular sport in this country.
Yep.
And
but I'm talking about for youth sports. So I'm talking about when you look at like soccer, it's huge now. Like almost every kid played soccer, whereas when I was growing up, I played soccer, but not a lot of my friends played soccer. But now almost every kid plays soccer. And I think you see it with some other emerging sports
It's cheaper to play too.
Yeah.
So baseball. So that's it.
It was
boys.
a good. It was a good segue. Right there.
It was a good
Baseball.
segue. Baseball. Balls and balls and. So I thought it was a good show, man. I mean, we hung in the middle a little bit, but I think we did all right. What do you guys think?
We're getting there, dude. We're almost.
What
there,
do you
man.
think?
What do you think?
We're getting revved up, man. Football season's almost here. It's 39 days away from first game.
It's gold, Jerry.
I think we should. I don't know how we could do this, but I think during some of our shows we should do a TikTok live stream and answer questions based on our fantasy questions
During the season, yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
I think we should try it and just see what have one person dedicated to that.
Okay, you could do it.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Yeah,
We
I
could
can
get
barely
somebody-
put
we
up
could
the
get
right
some-
words.
we
I'm
could get somebody
misspelling.
to come in here and do it.
I'm misspelling. I'm doing nothing's wrong here.
All right, well, that's the show, guys. Listen, you can find us on all socials at UFL Podcast, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the big one, Instagram, and here, YouTube. Like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and please, 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 please come back and watch again. Peace.